Welcome to Knafs at Night, I'm Ben.
I'm Austin.
And today we're talking about the worst knife names of all time. There's some doozies in there.
We're headed to Virginia to talk to our old pal DCA at Knife Center.
And we have these amazing 3D printed painted Death Eater masks.
Let's go! Before we get into horribly named knives, let me tell you about the newsletter giveaway that we do every single week. All you have to do is subscribe to the newsletter where we give away a knife every week. Just by being a subscriber, you're entered to win. All you have to do is go to knafs.com/newsletter to sign up. Last week's winner was Anthony DT from East Windsor, New Jersey.
From Joyzy.
Joyzy.
We do that every week, guys, so sign up to the newsletter. There's a link down in the description as well.
Yeah.
So, all right. We're going to roast some people this week. We're going to roast a little bit of ourselves as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're on the list as well.
We have 12 knife names behind us here. We've never done like a Vanna White presentation.
I know. This is the biggest prop we may have ever had on this show.
We have 3 categories of knives here. We have really bad names, we have diseases, and we have the what were they thinking category.
That's right. There's enough knives named after diseases that we have an entire category for it.
Now, this has been done before. David C. Anderson has done it on his channel. I think Knives Ship Free put a list together, but we were like, all right, naming is hard.
Oh, the hardest.
So let's start off with this one, Austin.
Oh, boy.
You want to read it for us?
What are we seeing? Oh, here we go. The Nuclear Meltdown Special Forces Natural Outlaw, also known as the NMSFNO.
For short.
Yes.
A little picture from Arizona Knife Company.
Yes.
Arizona Customs. Look at this thing.
How does something get, 6-word name?
Because like even the abbreviation is not good.
Long.
It's real bad.
It is big.
It's real bad. Nuclear Meltdown Special Forces Natural Outlaw. It seems like you could take any one of those and say, okay, we're just going to call it the Meltdown. Or we're going to call it the Nuclear or something, right?
I think maybe what they went for is 6 of the most powerful terms that they could come up with stacked into one name.
It feels like ChatGPT. Like, you know when you're in ChatGPT and you're like, more.
Yeah, make it crazier, yes.
And it just like goes wild.
Yeah, I love it.
That's a fun one. Number 2 on the list here.
Here we go. What do we got?
You ready for this?
I'm so ready.
This might be my favorite name on the board.
Oh, the Shasta McNasty from our guys over at Schrade.
The Shasta McNasty. You say that once, you know how words get stuck in your mind?
Oh, yes.
And you want to just like repeat them?
Yes.
Try it. Try it at home. Say it out loud.
To me,
Shasta McNasty.
This is one of my favorite knife names on the board. I actually think this is a very fun one. I think I don't know if it's clever, but it's just funky and goofy.
It seems like something we would name something.
100%.
But we would also sit there and be like, Schrade Shasta McNasty, it's too long.
Too long, yeah. But like, have you heard of the Yipper? Have you heard of the Sendy? Right? Like, we can...
Guilty as charged.
Yeah, we know a little bit about naming stuff over here.
Okay, so this show's a little bit weird, guys, because the names are a little bit weird.
Oh, boy.
We try to keep the show very PG.
Yeah.
Even G,
Very
perhaps.
G, yes.
Today, you can't do that. There's scatological references.
We didn't do this, guys.
We did not create this. The CRKT wrinkle. Now, the name itself is not terrible.
Not bad.
It's when you combine the name and the colors and the overall vibe.
Yeah.
So this is a Ken Onion knife. In fact, I was at CRKT when this thing launched.
Yeah.
This is called the Wrinkle, and they did it in brown. Why did they do it in brown?
This knife has aura. It's just unfortunately an aura of poop. Like that is just what it is.
My favorite part about this knife, nobody bought it. So CRKT backdoored it. They sold it out the back door to a company called Meh.com. If you're familiar with Meh.com, they received these, and whoever wrote the copy on it, they wrote the words to sell this thing, was the funniest copy I've ever read in my entire life.
Really?
And I'm not exaggerating.
It's really good.
When somebody's like, what's the best copy? I say, there.
Yeah.
The number 2 knife. Number 1 knife at a number 2 price.
There you go. that's a little bit of what they wrote as well, which is awesome.
While we're here, if you look up this knife name on Urban Dictionary, I am sorry for that.
Oh.
But we're going to stay in the CRKT realm.
Okay.
You ready for this one?
Yes.
The CRKT Klingon.
Interesting. Can we say what the definition is?
Nope, I'm going to let them Urban Dictionary.
We'll
it's
let people do that.
scatological, because it is a Star Trek reference as well.
That's where my mind goes immediately. Obviously, you think of Star Trek. You think Spock a Klingon? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I am sorry, guys, but yeah.
We're Harry Potter nerds.
Yeah, that's
not
right.
necessarily
It didn't
Trekkies.
take us 2 or 3 times to say Death Eater mask. Definitely no way.
But the Klingon's interesting. This one has a magnet in it.
Yeah.
It's a little fixed blade.
I read about this knife a little bit. It is very cool. The way that it adheres to the sheath is through the magnet that's in that little red circle there. It's also got a lanyard that magnetizes, so it's kind of like an easy rip lanyard, which is cool.
It was an interesting one.
Yeah.
When the name came out, in fact, around the office at CRKT, they were like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? And I just remember being like, not my knife, not my problem. Just throw it on the website, let it be.
That's right.
But Klingon can also be scatological. So
Funky one.
funky one.
Yes.
Funky one.
Love it.
We've got more knife names coming up in the diseases category.
That's right. That's our real bad category.
That's the real bad category.
Yeah, but before we get to diseases, we should go to Virginia.
Ooh, let's go on a field trip. I went out to Knife Center in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Let's go there. What is up, guys? I am in Fredericksburg, Virginia. It's the boyhood home of George Washington. It was the site of a major Civil War battle. That's a cannon. And it is also home to the Knife Center. So we're gonna go visit them today and see what they're up to in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Here's the thing, guys. Knife Center sits in Fredericksburg. Right behind me is where George Washington grew up. Ferry Farm, which is pretty dang cool.
Hey everyone, David C. Anderson here coming at you from this place.
We're going on a tour.
Let's do it.
Let's go. David, how many people work at the Knife Center?
So it's about 30 or so. Last time I counted, we've gone up and down since then, but yeah, come on in. Customer service and some of our product folks are here up on the main floor. We got Janie over here. She's our customer service manager. Does your audience like to be triggered?
They love to be triggered.
This is our Matt D pocket check right here.
How much is that knife that's just sitting there in the bin?
$2,400. You know, there's some really expensive knives in here, and every once in a while, we're going to make a video and we want to talk about a certain maker or a certain expensive knife, and we don't have any on the shelf. I just come and see what's in the ammo cannon.
Oh, that's good.
Try that TOS friendly.
That's good.
But it's drawn by Tony himself. It's got like a nice little gift there, and then it's signed on the other side.
What were you carrying today? What was it going in your pocket?
Yeah, today we have a weird amalgamation Sebenza, where I bought the Unique and a Damascus.
$1,000 of knife right there? Just a cool 1,000?
Yeah, that's fine.
So the thing I love about Josh carrying that knife, when Josh came to us, he wasn't a knife person. We corrupted him, or as we indoctrinated him.
It just kind of happens.
Okay, David, my question for you here is, your people here seem to carry high-end knives. What's the deal there?
This is kind of proof, I think, that like once you actually hold them and you experience them, you start to realize why they cost what they do. And we take care of our people well enough here, they can afford to buy them, so.
That's cool.
Why wouldn't you? This is our video studio. This is where we do all the videos. And, you know, anyone who's seen a video that we do, you know, we just kind of have a white wall back here. So we got the cast and crew over here. Thomas, the behind the cameraman. And of course, Seth V, my co-host.
Seth, what's in your pocket today, man?
Ooh,
What you carrying?
got a Protect Godson. Also got my true EDC.
What you got on your desk, David?
Well, I do have my EDC.
What is that?
It's the carcass splitter, man. Our unofficial Knife Center mascot. Yeah, check out that pocket clip. It's deep carry.
This is an actual, like, this is not one of one. This is
No,
real.
this is a product. You could buy it. Right
This
now.
is Ford New Zealand.
We just kind of be stupid with it.
That's incredible. Where did you hide this one day at Disney World? Cheryl told me a
I was at
story.
Universal. I was
Universal.
at Universal, and I got caught trying to get into Universal with a pocket knife. So I went into the ladies' room and hid it behind the toilet seat where those covers are. I popped out the bottom side and tucked it up into the cardboard.
This very knife right here.
Yes, and then came back and got it later.
You want to see where we take photos?
Yeah. Ooh, what you got there, man? What you taking photos of?
It's Kingston Arms 8-pack. I don't know. Some kind of spike.
What's this thing on the wall here?
Oh, yeah, it keeps me straight on what's what.
This is where we do all our photos. Like we're proud of the fact that like we take all our original photos. Well, Tom over here takes all the photos.
Tom, what's your favorite knife? What's in your pocket, maybe?
It's actually a Kaiser.
One of the things you don't see very often as you're buying things on a website is somebody like Tom in the background taking all the pictures. Everything you see online, somebody took a picture of it. Hold on.
Oh, thank you.
Nailed it.
You get a sneak peek of the warehouse here while we're at it. All the crew here ships everything out from Central Virginia every day. All your orders come in, go right through these people right here.
What's happening there, David?
So this is a box of boxes of knives heading out to folks who ordered. I'm gonna show you the Knafs home. We got a nice cozy section right here. We get all the Knafs stuff right near the front, actually.
Nice. I hear they're just okay humans.
Yeah, I'd say they're more than that.
Okay, David, there's a lot of places you can buy pocket knives online. Why the Knife Center?
Well, I mean, I could say things like, we've got our rewards points system, we got a great selection and all that, but I can tell anything to the people watching this, like, it's just a great place to work. You've got a company that takes care of its people, that is passionate about what we do. We got plenty of knife fanatics here, so you're supporting knife fanatics. But places like this need to exist that take care of these niche hobbies, because if it's part of this big conglomeration or something, or your big, Amazons and whatnot, us knife people are just a tiny little piece of that, and they don't really care about us. This is a type of place that cares about you and cares about the people that are working here. I don't think anything says it better than that.
Thanks for letting Knafs be a part of it.
Cheers, man.
Appreciate it. That was it from the Knife Center. We are headed back to the desk.
All right, we're back at the desk, but only for a second, because I'm throwing you back out to Keith at the Ship Shape Sharpening Shop.
Hey guys, welcome to the Ship Shape Sharpening Shop. My name's Keith, and today we've got some cool stuff. We've got a Kaiser Z82. This thing's kind of sweet. Love the holes in here. N690 blade steel. The super cool Tonto. I don't know, I really dig this thing. Love the flipper, it just feels really good. Pretty sweet one. And then we've got a Boker Kalashnikov OTF. Check out the blade to handle ratio on that guy. Little interesting, but obviously super fun and fidgety. And then we have a Tops El Pionero with a very snug sheath, but that's okay. Still super cool. Blackout edition here. You even have a little thumb groove, or pinky groove there rather, so you can really gut fish with it, clean fish, so pretty cool. But anyways, thanks guys. Back to you at the desk. Oh, you!
Keith kind of hates it that we jump in the background.
Have these started making it? I think we're officially in the background.
I think we're officially in the background now.
Good.
Every time we hear Keith start off the intro, welcome to the Ship Shape Sharpening Shop, Austin and I just stand up and go to the window.
I feel like I need more props, so what we should do is we should have just a bin of our mailbox stuff, and just so we can put little bags of dead fish in the mirror and stuff
We
like
have
that.
a request.
Okay,
we have a request. If you're watching and you love Keith, send us a little sign. It can't be big. It must be this size-ish that we can put in the window behind the Ship Shape Sharpening Shop as Keith is filming. Keith, if you're watching, you didn't hear this.
You didn't see this.
Send it. We'll put the address on screen so that you can send us little love letters to Keith.
Oh boy.
We'll put them in the window.
I'm excited to see what people come up with. Should we talk about diseases and knives?
Let's do it. Again, guys, we try to keep this as clean as possible on this show, but it's going to get weird starting with the vulture cholera.
Cholera. What an so this is an old school disease, right? I hear this has been around for a long time.
Yeah,
cholera.
like Oregon Trail, you died of dysentery.
Cholera. You got cholera.
I believe it creates diarrhea and you die from cholera.
Shoot.
Pretty gnarly.
Why would you name your knife that?
I don't know.
I actually do.
Really?
Yes.
Did you look it up?
Yes, I did.
This is the knife.
I did a little teeny bit of research on these. So apparently vultures can carry cholera in their stomachs. Their stomachs are able to hold and digest and keep that from affecting them.
I don't know that I'm sold.
Yeah, that's what I read on one of the websites out there. So,
but interesting thing about this one, it's made by Tops. Looks like a Tops knife, and I thought to myself, okay, I can see, vulture cholera, but why?
Why? Where does the connection come in, right?
Yeah.
I get the fun name.
Austin, what knife are you carrying? Cholera.
Yes.
Cool, stay away. Thanks.
Yes, I will not touch you, actually. Yes.
Okay, this might be the worst one, and it makes every list because it's just not good.
This is a fun one.
The MKM Clap Austin, what is the clap?
The clap is another disease. I don't know how technical I want to get with this one, but it's a transmittable infection, I think is what they call them these days.
It is, an STI, if you will.
Yeah.
Beautiful knife.
Lovely, actually. I think this is a very cool design.
And I think in Italy, clap does not mean what it means
right.
here.
Yeah, this is maybe a translation issue or something like that. But yes, here we have a fun term for something that gets passed around maybe in your college days. So,
Yeah, the clap.
The clap.
Beautiful knife.
Sorry, Bob. That's a Trizola design.
Is it really?
Yes.
Do you think he named it, or do you think they named it?
I feel like designers name knives, but you might know differently.
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, in my experience, designers always name knives.
Right.
Like I don't leave my knife names to somebody else.
Right.
It's part of the story. But I don't know on that one. So.
All right.
This next one, again.
This one.
Let's go to the Amazon for just a second here. The Essie Candy Roux. Here's the knife.
Yeah.
It's a small little guy. And so in the Amazon, there's a fish called the candy brew.
Right.
This is notorious and legendary for swimming up the urethra and lodging inside of the urethra.
Have you ever watched River Monsters, I believe the show is called?
Is that where they stick their hands
It's a fishing show.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's a gentleman, I think the host named Jeremy Wade maybe, and he goes all around the globe and fishes for these like interesting rare fish. Yeah. Kangaroo is on his list, and there's this
Did
lovely.
He catch one?
I believe so, but they're teeny. The whole thing behind these is that they're small enough that they can fit up an orifice or something like that, right? They apparently swim up the stream as you're maybe relieving yourself into the water, and they can go in.
So I read a book, great book by the way, called River of Doubt. It's about Theodore Roosevelt, and the author references the candy roux in the book. And I went down a rabbit hole. It's more urban myth than anything.
Is it?
It is.
Not a lot of cases reported out there?
Not a lot of cases reported. Okay. I've been to the Amazon.
Yes.
Can we get personal for a second? I've urinated in the Amazon, and I have not caught a candy roux.
That's all the proof I needed. It does not exist.
I hope I made you and everyone at home blush.
Thank you.
I didn't see one, though.
Yeah. They're little guys. Just little teeny guys.
But, yeah, I think this is more bark than bite.
Yeah.
But... still.
I don't like any of these terms.
Now, if you did have the clap or the cholera or a candy roux stuck in yourself, you might need this one right here.
Yeah, you might have to take a little metaproptazole.
The Kaiser metaproptazole.
Proptazole.
Now, you looked this up. Tell me about it.
I couldn't find anything about it. I was like, what else is called proptazole or metaproptazole? I don't know what this term means. Couldn't find any other references. I think it's a totally made up name.
But it feels like it should come with some sort of warning at the end of it, you know, like at the end of drug ads on TV where they're like, metaproptazole is not for those over 65.
Habit for informing or whatever. like it needs all those kind of disclaimers.
It drops on the screen. I don't know where this name came from.
Now I can see a great marketing campaign for this knife. They'll put it on the side of a prescription bottle. I've got all kinds of ideas.
And see, I think if you did it on purpose and you're like, this is going to be an interesting campaign. We're going to call it the metaproptazole. I think of Metamucil.
Yeah.
Right? Which is in the disease category.
Yeah, right there.
Right? Yep. The metaproptazole, you're like, yes, this is for all of your ailments, whatever ails you.
Yes.
Guys, we're going to come back to column 3, which is the what were they thinking category. Yes. And but before we do that, what are we doing, Austin?
We're going to jump over to the Moon Crew. We're heading to Facebook.
Moon Crew moment. Here we go.
Let's take a look.
Coming back first to our friend Nick Lafort. Nick does some writing for us.
We love Nick.
Nick loves to write.
Yes, he's a great writer too.
What's he written, Austin?
He is excited about the lander and wants to know, are we ever going to do a flipper tab on the lander? He says he's got ADHD, and I assume that means he wants to play with it a bunch.
Yeah, maybe. Mm-hmm. This week, we're sitting on over 100% tariffs.
Yeah.
We talked about this last week, but it's just gotten worse, and I'm hoping by the time this video comes out, it's getting better. Mm-hmm. No plans at the moment. In fact, we've just uncurled ourselves from the corner where we were crying.
Yeah.
Everyone picked a corner.
Yeah.
And we were like, ugh.
It's a turbulent moment out there right now, but we still love fun ideas.
I do it. Here's the thing, and this is where, I love to be able to take an idea and play with it and turn it over and say, where could we make this? How could we make this? Mm-hmm. I think of a lander with a flipper tab right now, and I'm like, there's nowhere to make it.
Yeah.
Unless we were to make it ourselves, which We haven't made a folder yet, stateside.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
Hopefully.
Stay tuned for that.
tuned.
What's next, Austin?
Let's jump into, this is from Ryan Holdings. He got 2 of his first Knafs knives. So it looks like he's picked up, that looks like a Lander 1 to me with some
Mexican
blanket scales. And then he's also got the sheep's foot Lander 4 there as well.
The thing I'm excited about here is his sheath, man. Look at what he's doing there. I don't know what
clip
he's
is cool.
attached to that. What is that? What is that? Is that a clip?
I think that's like a regular pocket clip, kind of like Ulti clip style, but just a standard pocket clip that he's attached to.
Because he's kind of got like a whistle or something on there.
Yeah, a fire starter or something. But yeah, super cool. And he's got his little knuck in there as well. I love a good lanyard. I feel like lanyards are
He also bought a Blem one. Notice, so our Blem knives have crossed out eyes with a smiley face.
Yeah.
And I can see that he has a knuck there with a crossed out eyes frowny face.
Hey, look at that. Very
Which is kind
similar.
of a fun thing. Some people like the Blems because they have the smiley face.
Yes.
And I'm like, no, you don't get a warranty. You get no support.
But they're cool engraved.
Yeah, they are.
That's very cool. Yeah. Last one here is from Tom Collins, which I believe is a drink of a sort. So
Is it like an Arnold Palmer?
I think so. I could be
Really?
wrong about
Interesting.
that, but I believe it is. He says, love the clip. This is about the Moon Crew exclusive Lynch clip that we did. If you haven't seen that, definitely check it out. He says, love the clip. Big thanks to you guys for getting it to me. Question is, would it be crazy if I put it on the L3 clip point instead? My answer is absolutely not.
Fire away.
Fire away. Make it your own, man. That is the best part about the Lander series, is it's just up to you, however you want it to be. So.
Although I do think that the clip point is kind of class, like it's kind of got this cowboy gentleman classiness. Do Space Cats go with that vibe? I think so.
I think you could see a world where maybe they could clash. Like it looks really nice on this, looks like a Flightanium Lander 1 here, but to each their own, and definitely make it yours. So I think that's fun.
I think it's fantastic. We're going next to part 3. No, Austin's Cold Steel.
Oh my gosh.
Mailbox.
Mailbox, here we are. All right, so a couple weeks ago, no, let me rephrase that. In Blade Show, Texas, I happened to run into a gentleman named Daniel. Daniel works for Cold Steel. GSW, is that the parent company? I think
No,
it's
GSM.
Not. GSM, thank you.
GSM.
It's not gunshot wound, guys. I should have known that.
Although that could make a great knife name.
That would be a great knife name. We'll come back to that later. But GSM ran into him. He actually had just purchased a Lander remount. He's just kind of a fan of the brand, and he wanted to send some swag our way. So
he works at Cold Steel, sent you a Cold Steel.
Yep, so he sent us they kind of have relaunched the Swift model. This is the Cold Steel Swift 3. It's their assisted opening knife, and it's got the kind of fancy lock on the back there.
May I?
Yeah, please do.
Is this is not a Recon?
No, it is not a
Swift.
Recon. A Swift 3. Yep, it is a
Interesting,
Swift.
because it's got like it's definitely got Recon vibes.
It does, yeah. And I think that a lot of people like that. Cold Steel, for a little bit there, kind of went maybe a little bit away from some of their old, big, overbuilt stuff, and I think they're coming back to it with this.
This is really, like, we were talking about this one that came in, and you were like, this is a knife.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, it's a very big one.
That's
Classic
a man's
Cold
knife.
Steel vibes.
Yeah.
One thing I find really interesting, I haven't seen a Cold Steel pocket clip like this before.
The clip is really cool, and they made it straight. So on a lot of like the Recon, the old Cold Steels, they give you 2 pocket clips because they were kind of curved.
Yep, and they would have both sides.
Yep. So this one's swappable across, which I think is cool. And yeah, it's like almost like a milled single piece, or it could be pressed. I'm not sure, but
interesting. Just screw clip filler, a little bit of flourish there.
Yeah.
I like it. Well done, Cold Steel.
Yeah. Shout out to Daniel.
I don't know, like, I want it to almost be a shark lock.
Yeah.
Right. Like I want to.
So the non-assisted, you can do that with the.
You can one-hand it though.
Yeah,
because
that's called the Atlas lock on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the spring doesn't engage till like halfway.
Correct. So it'll stop it from closing all the way. So they also sent like the FM one. I'll bring that another time, which is like the full metal Atlas lock, and it's got like just complete fall in the blade. There's no assisted to it. So
I like it.
Should we read some comments?
Let's read some comments. We
yeah.
read all your comments on the videos. We don't respond to all of them because why?
Like we respond to some here, but yeah, most
some
of the time.
here and there. But some of these we like to pull in. This is from Chris Ruther 4546. I love the story collector because I truly connect with that. Pretty much all of my knives are similar. I have them because they tell a story for me, mark a memory. I can tell you when, where, why. I got just about all of my knives. I think that's cool. That's in reference to my collection video.
Yeah.
That's how I collect knives, and it's cool to see that Chris does the same.
I think when you have a story behind something that you care about, it just makes it that much more valuable to you, which is cool. From Veni Vid, not Vici.
No Vici.
Yep. Is Ben and Austin doing the old Alfred Hitchcock in the Ship-Shape Sharpening Shop? It looks like it has hit the old video. I was excited that people are noticing us back there. So
this one comes from Adam So is Knafs the Kirkland signature of the knife world? They take something good, make it 1% better, and sell it for less.
Whoa. High praise.
Honored?
Yeah,
I think.
very high
I don't
praise.
know. I think Costco does a great job.
Love Costco.
I think that they've done a great job creating a brand and getting you in the store. I used to have this big beef with Costco because you walk in there and you're just like programmed to buy everything.
Yeah.
You're like, do you want an 80-inch TV? Of course I do.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I?
At that price, yes.
Do you want 80 chocolates? Of course.
Yeah. Can I get 2?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're such a good deal.
It is such a good deal.
Would you like mangoes? Yes, of course.
Seriously, yeah.
No, I don't know. I think that we're trying to create the best product at the best price we can do. Does that mean that our margins are the fattest? No.
Definitely.
Not at all.
Yep.
Are we able to make it work? Most of the time. But I think any business is trying to deliver high value
Yes.
and lowest price.
I think so.
Whatever that is. I mean, even like you look at like a Benchmade that is a very expensive knife when it comes to like starting entry knives. That's an expensive one.
Yes.
But I would say that they're trying to deliver highest quality they can, and the Benchmade fanboys are going to freak out at this. I shouldn't have done it. Man, that last video, we didn't pull a lot of videos from the Benchmade video.
I know.
Because the fanboys, actually the haters, not the fanboys.
You guys like to hate over there.
But I do think that any brand, whether it's Benchmade, Spyderco, whoever, they're trying to deliver the best quality product at the lowest price they can, considering all the inputs that create the output.
Yeah, I mean, I know Benchmade gets given a hard time about their pricing and stuff like that. It takes a lot to make a Benchmade knife, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's not, those things aren't being made for free, so.
Let the haters hit the comments.
Come at me.
I feel like
Get on over here.
I feel like anytime you even say the word Benchmade,
I know.
the haters are just like,
I was too kind to them just now, so I will get that. That's all right. Let's keep moving here. Miller time. Sick production quality on the field trip bin. I recently got the Lander and my aunt 3D printed glow-in-the-dark scale. Such a cool mod for my collection. Perfect for camping and, or a nightstand knife, excuse me.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I like it. You said aunt.
I caught myself. I don't say aunt.
Really?
I have
How
no
did this happen?
I think I don't know how that happened. I don't know how any of this happened, but apparently I felt like I needed an accent on this.
I like it. The aunt.
Yep.
You could call it. You could name a knife that. You could call it the ant. But you have to pronounce it aunt.
Oh yes, I like that.
This is from N. Conway. Knives and Godzilla is my whole personality. In reference to the Godzillas that we have brought on the show previously, Knives and Godzilla is also Joe Flowers' personality, which is fantastic.
And starting to become Matt's personality.
That is true.
Yes.
Matt, our 3D printer,
Yes.
Does it. Last story section. No, last, what are we calling this?
Yeah.
The last column.
Yeah, last on our list of worst named knives.
Is the column of what were they thinking?
Yeah.
Let's start with number 10.
Let's start with number 10. I think that's a good place to start. So, what were you thinking when you named the Sancho?
Okay. Sorry, we got
we've got
traffic jam.
Yep, here we go.
Kick it out of there.
Right there.
Okay. So the Sancho pen, we were at Blade Show, Texas, and I knew this going into it, but Sancho, we named it after Sancho Panza from Don Quixote, who is his companion, his helper on his wild adventures. Now, a Sancho can also be, in Spanish, I believe Mexican culture primarily, a Sancho is your side companion that is not your spouse.
Yes.
Not trying to veil anything, but also trying to keep it PG. The
Yes.
like, if you were like cheating on someone, you would be a Sancho.
Yeah, they. I think in America we'd call it side chick or side dude or something like that.
You're like
Yeah.
your mistress,
Yeah,
if you will,
there you
or
go.
whatever. So anyway, what was I thinking? I was thinking, look, we're gonna craft a story around this.
We're gonna make something so desirable that you have to have it regardless of the other pen in your pocket. That's what we were
You're
thinking.
gonna have a side companion, with you,
Correct.
whether that is a Don Quixote reference or a side companion reference.
We thought it through.
The Sancho.
All right, let's jump back to 9 then. What's
Number 9. Anything zero tolerance. This feels like such an easy target.
Yeah, I mean, so their naming standard is typically numbers, right?
Yeah, and Benchmade's guilty of this too. But for some reason, like a Benchmade 940 has stuck,
Yeah.
or like that's the only one.
Yeah, I can't even remember, what like a bug out or anything would be. Yeah, 530 or
They all have
something
numbers,
like that.
but ZT, on the other hand, has no extra names.
Yeah.
It is all numbers. So
Yeah.
this is the ZT022, little guy. And this one was actually given to me by Brandon Bacon, which, by the way, if you have a last name Bacon,
Yeah.
it should be Brandon,
Delectable.
shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, Brandon Bacon has worked at Kershaw ZT for years and years. He made this one special for me with a blue anodized titanium
Cool.
lock side on it. And I think it's 1 of 1.
Yeah.
Serial 1
That's awesome.
on it, which is really cool. Can I tell you the name of the knife? No.
Well, we know it's the 22 now, but
But is it the 022?
that I don't see. And I think they're all 4 digits. And the other thing about ZT is a lot of them are like production models of custom knives. And so you might have like the Harpen as a custom knife, but it comes out as the ZT, 05 whatever, something like that. So
I wonder why they do that.
I don't know. It's also used to be a thing in the car business, right? Like BMW, if you've ever seen a BMW, it's got like the 3 Series would have like 328 or 331 or something like that. How do you tell? How do you know? Like,
But do people call it this 3 Series?
3 Series to kind of envelop it. There's not really a category like that within ZT. But yeah, it's if you want to know like exactly what model it is, it's a little confusing. Porsche 911.
Porsche 911.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep, 911.
Tanner's filming today. He's
Yeah.
a big Porsche guy.
All kinds
Loves it.
of variants on the 911 too.
You're a Porsche guy too.
We don't talk about that around here. Yeah, I am a Porsche guy. Yeah.
You love them. I think it's great.
It's a good time. Yeah, they're fun.
Do they all have numbers?
A lot of them do, not all of them. I think there was probably a switch somewhere around the year 2000, maybe 2010s, where people were like, these number things are confusing and we need to start giving our stuff
Do you think
names.
ZT will ever do that?
I do. I don't.
really?
I'm surprised they haven't, because I think Benchmade did this.
Yeah.
This is why we don't know the Benchmade names
Right.
anymore, is because it's now the Griptilian and the Anthem and the whatever else. You know, they've actually
they
named their
transitioned off that.
knives. Yeah. So I think that they will do it at some point, but I don't know when that'll be.
I look forward to the day.
Yeah.
Number 11 on the list here, the petrified fish flavorist.
Flavorous.
Now, I'm not trying to yuck anybody's yum.
This one's got flavor.
It does, but like even the name petrified fish, when I saw that, I'm like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
And I think that's actually, it's a fine name. Is it though? I don't know.
I think it's fun.
Is it?
It's fun.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's fun.
It reminds me of, there used to be a petrified fish, like decals on people's cars all the time, like the skeleton fish. Do you remember that?
I think that's Arcteryx.
I'm not thinking of Arcteryx. I think
Okay.
I'm thinking of something else. But
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, well, petrified fish, it gets a pass, but flavorist does not.
Where does that come from?
It sounds like an old soda shop or something
Yes.
from like the 50s.
Yes.
Like, where are you going? Well, we're headed to the flavor.
Or like a column that's all about different tastes of soda or something like that. The flavorist.
Yeah,
you know?
or like a whiskey channel.
There
that's
you
like
go.
it's got hints of I don't know. Oak.
Yeah, definitely oak. Yes.
Anyway, flavorist from petrified fish. While we're talking about food and drink,
Oh, I'm hungry. Serve me up a helping of
the Flightanium beef.
titanium beef. This is, I think, maybe the newest on the. I mean, the Sancho's right there, but one of
Yeah.
the newest on the board.
The Flightanium beef. Now, I'm okay with the name. I think the problem with it is it's so ubiquitous that it's almost like Flightanium beef. Is this like an Angus? Is it
Yeah.
like grass-fed?
There we go. Yeah.
Right?
What is the Japanese beef? Kobe.
Is it Kobe?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like it sort of like creates another question behind it.
Yeah.
Like when you talk about like Knafs Lander, you're like, yeah, it's a knife, the Lander. But if you're like the Flightanium beef, what kind?
I see. Like,
know what
do
I
you
mean?
think that beefy would have been more applicable? It's a beefy knife. It tells you more about what it is.
I don't know. Is there something about ground beef that makes it a bad knife? I don't know.
I don't know. I think that it kind of fits Flightanium's archetype, though. You know,
I'd agree
they're
with
like
that.
this kind of funky. I mean, even when they released, I think it's called the UFO. They're like trainer balisong thing.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it at a Blade Show, and the display was like on a pasture with little teeny cows in it. So it's right in their wheelhouse.
It's quirky, which is fun. I'm all for fun. Some of these are weird. Some are more in the fun category, but
Yeah.
also highly enjoyable. We got a couple last things in this episode. And by the way, if we missed any on this list that
Yeah.
should have been on there, let us know. We kind of scoured the internet. We chat GPT'd it. We tried to find all the things we could, but let us know. Knife naming is hard.
What did we miss?
What did we miss? Because this is an enjoyable game. We could play this game again.
I'd love to do another one of these. Yeah, send us a whole nother dozen. Yeah.
On the product spotlight this week is the Tonto Lander 2.
Tonto Lander 2.
What do we got here, Austin?
I love this knife because I feel like it's the most unique out of the Lander lineup. Totally unique blade shape. It's the only Tonto that we do, which I think is really cool. And then the black micarta is just kind of hot for me. I like the color, especially if you have one and you've carried it for a while. It really starts to darken and oil up and add a lot of character to it.
The other day, Keith and I were talking, Keith of Ship Shape Sharpening Shop, and he's like, why don't we do other blade shapes? And I said, Keith, I looked him in the eyes, I said, Keith, Drop Points built this house. And in fact, I made it. Do you think I can get the sign down?
It's around here somewhere.
Hold on.
Yes.
Hold the show, Austin.
One moment.
It was a stupid little thing, but it felt necessary. I said that, and Keith was like, you could embroider that.
Yeah. And so Ben fires up the Adobe suite.
Sometimes you just got to go to Illustrator, you know? So I made Keith a little sign for the storefront that said, just Drop Points built this house. Right. And you got some little cute flowers with the What Is Up Guys sign on it. All of my knives have started as Drop Points.
Proudly displayed here in the Knafs store.
I don't know why. Like, we've done some Wharncliffes, we've done some other stuff.
Oh, it's a universal blade type, and it speaks to you. I like that.
Drop Points built this house. If anybody needs prints of this, just let me know in the comments.
That's right. That's right. We'll make this available for download or something.
I would love, I know somebody out there does embroidery.
Oh, yeah.
Make it real.
Yeah, we need a stitched version of this.
We need a cross stitch.
Yes.
Somebody, that would warm my heart. We would put it on the show, and that would hang above my desk, not in the store.
Yes, it would.
And
anyway. Maybe get featured in the back of Ship Shape Sharpening Shop for a minute.
I love it.
Yes.
Next up, we're going to fresh prints.
Let's do it.
Death Eater masks.
Yeah.
I like that, man.
Yeah.
I got glasses on. They're coming off now.
Yes.
Dude, do you think you could Death Eater the glasses?
Wow. Not on that one. Maybe on this one's a little slimmer, so maybe on this one.
What's going on here, Austin?
So I don't know. I'm not the biggest Potterhead, Harry Potter fan, but I know that Death Eaters are from Harry Potter.
They are.
And this is just another beautiful development, another creation, not specifically from that, but he took someone's creation, printed it out, and painted it.
So 3D printed, sanded, epoxied.
Yeah, filled. He fills it. Yeah.
I love the fact that you can make stuff like this at home.
Yes.
Without having to carve it.
Yeah.
Like the barrier to creation is so low these days.
It's unbelievable. And the quality that you can get out of stuff, especially after you do some of that finishing work of the sanding and stuff. You know, we talk about arm's length stuff, looking at stuff you would think this is a very high quality, maybe even handmade piece of clay or something like that from your arm's length, you know.
And the reason we always talk about 3D printing is our scales are open source. So if you want to make them, print them, you can. The downloads are on the website for Lander 2, 3, 1.
Yep.
Even the Lulu handle scales are on there.
You've got the Lulu, and then we also do the 3D print silhouettes of the entire knife. So if you're ever curious about how one is, maybe you have a Lander 1, you want to know how big the Lander 2 is, you can print one out if you have a 3D printer.
Literally print it out.
It's exactly this big, which is cool.
Although I have heard, so Fitz is at college.
Yeah.
He's our designer.
Yeah.
They don't like him at the school printer to print knives.
Oh, okay.
So he'll print knife parts.
Okay.
But if he tries to print the entire knife, the school's you can't do that.
I could see that.
Which,
yeah.
I could see that being a problem at a public library or something if they have a
school.
printer.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, that is the show. Wow, we've been on a journey.
That was a good one.
Thank you for watching. If you like this kind of stuff, definitely subscribe. We'll have another video coming out for you pretty quick.
We'll see you then.